Anyone can play a role in African innovation, according to Afua Osei. The Ghana-born entrepreneur co-founded a digital media company that helps women advance professionally. VOA reporter Tigist Keme has more on the woman behind She Leads Africa.
As a business consultant in Lagos, Afua Osei routinely met women who were looking for ways to advance professionally but didn't know how. They needed guidance and mentoring.
I didn't plan to be an entrepreneur. I had a really great job. I loved doing that work, but I saw an opening, right? And I think many of us, we complain all the time. We're like, why isn't this happening? Or someone should do something about this, or why isn't government doing this? And instead of complaining, I decided to take action and try to solve the problem myself.
Osei and her colleague Yasmin Bello Osage started the digital platform She Leads Africa. It now has an online community of 300,000 in 35 countries in Africa and throughout the diaspora. Anyone can be an innovator, Osei says.
Being in technology, you don't have to look a certain way. It's not just for one type of person. It's open to anybody. Anybody can play a role, and there's so much work to be done, and there's so many great opportunities that can come from it.
Osei sees potential in Africa. The continent has some fast-growing economies and the world's fastest-growing population. Its 1.2 billion population is projected to almost double by 2050. But, she says, Africa also holds challenges for entrepreneurs.
Dealing with policies and governments can be hard. There's also distribution. So how do I get a product that's made in Lagos out here to Austin, right? So when I think about the challenges, I think that that's what we're here for, right? We're here to break down those barriers and to find solutions to those problems.
She Leads Africa deals with problem solving. It started an accelerator, a 3-month development program to assist women-led startups in Nigeria. Chere Robinson won a spot in the program and $10,000 in seed money for a specialty travel company. She said it provided her a wealth of knowledge she did not have. Entrepreneurs often have to navigate complicated government regulations and licensing requirements. Osei suggests collaborating with key government personnel who understand technology.
I think it's important for technology leaders to take the lead, of course, and to be innovative in how we communicate to government, because they're learning just as much as we are.
Osei and Bello Osage have big plans. They want to reach 1 million subscribers for their website. As the site says, it's for the ladies who want to build million-dollar companies, lead corporate organizations, and crush it as leaders. Tigist Keme, VOA News, Austin, Texas.
With the most diverse population in Canada, Toronto has a large community of Africans far away from home. Many of them stay connected with home through a radio program, Karibuni. The weekly radio program promotes African music and brings together old and new African artists from all over the country.
Welcome to Karibuni African Music every Sunday.
And that signals the start of Karibuni, a weekly show on CIUT-FM in Toronto, Canada. The host, Nadine McNulty, founder of Batuki Music Society, gives her listeners a taste of African music on the show, which is popular for thousands of Africans living in Toronto. Nadine was inspired to create a show dedicated to African music 15 years ago after extensive travels on the African continent.
The radio program basically is a voice, and it's a platform for not just African artists in Canada, but all of the communities who they are hailing from. I look at my radio program as a way to provide a voice, to provide visibility to communities that are underserved and not heard in the mainstream.
She has spent over 20 years championing African art, music and culture in Canada. Her show helps popularize African music in Toronto, which is one of the most diverse populations in Canada, including a large community of Africans from all over the continent. With its growing popularity comes a demand for African arts in the diaspora. Nadine also uses the platform to mentor aspiring radio presenters of African descent.
I'm using it as sort of a template, as a mentoring place for African youth and other African community members who want to come in and want to learn how to be on radio. So my program is very open. I have a lot of visitors, usually every week, and sometimes people tell me they're coming, sometimes they don't.
Ruiz da Silva, a native of Angola, is one of such people who have benefited from Nadine's training on the show.
We were introduced by a friend who also have a passion in music, introduced me to Nadine. Nadine invited me to the show, and people, they liked what they heard, voice, and she helped me to operate the board and run the show, co-host the show with her and Mr. Truno.
Apart from the radio show, the Bakuti Music Society, a creation of Nadine's, also connects culturally diverse African performers with audiences in Toronto.
Well, the art scene in the Democratic Republic of Congo is vibrant and flourishing, but local artists still struggle for international recognition. Viewers Anita Powell takes us to the studios of Kinshasa's top talent, including 25-year-old art sensation Eddie Kamwanga Ilunga.
Painter Eddie Kamwanga Ilunga says he is inspired by his country's vast cultural and mineral wealth, but also its painful colonial history. His works have been exhibited in South Africa, Europe, and the United States, as African art has risen in popularity. One of his pieces can fetch up to $30,000 at an international auction. While those prices make him one of Congo's highest-paid artists, industry insiders say by international standards, his work only fetches average prices.
I think that one should know that the artists here from Africa are regarded differently on the international art scene, and I think it's a struggle of many artists in Africa to get the same recognition.
Sculptor Freddie Tsimba says one problem is the lack of support at home. His works, made of discarded items like bullet casings, keys, and spoons, are shown internationally, but get little notice in Congo. These original pieces and antique crafts sell for a song at the bustling Kinshasa art market. But high-end work is rare, says local art promoter Fabrice Bashonga.
Congolese art is going very cheap in the international market, mainly because of the lack of consideration locally by the local markets.
Artist Vichwa Milambe Bondo has exhibited and lived around the world, but returned home despite the challenges. He works at this recently established incubator for young Congolese talent.
I said, okay, it's good for me to stay here. Why? Because we need to build art scene and to build, to make something sense, and the people can buy artwork in Congo. And now these people start to buy, but it's process, it's big challenge. I think the really challenge is to be here.
The studio also features women artists.
It is not easy at all because the men, they push you around a bit from all sides, and especially in the Congolese art scene, the market is rather difficult. To get someone to help you show your talent or your work, they block your path. You are a bit pushed aside.
Younger artists also say they struggle to establish themselves.
Me, my biggest dream is that I would like for people to talk about Congolese art the way we talk about American art, the way we talk about German art, the way we talk about Belgian art. I would like for the Congolese artists to be able to rise on the international stage.
Congolese artists say they are hopeful. That bit by bit, stroke by stroke, and line by line, that dream will finally come into focus. Anita Powell, VOA News, Kinshasa.
Well, and that's our show for today. You can also visit us online at voaafrica.com. I'm Vincent McCord in Washington. Chamberlain also has our last word from Lagos.
Well, thanks, Vincent. We look forward to bringing you another show next week. ChannelsTV.com is your source for news and other programming. I'm Chamberlain Osor. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.